transitions into what we've been talking about over the last few weeks. Pretty much what I want to go over this afternoon is kind of talk about the system and why a system is so important. And it really builds on what Mr. Halliman talked about last week when it comes to edification. Edification is probably one of the key ingredients, and I'm glad that each and every one of you that were on the line, and if you were not on the line, please take a listen to that recording, because edification is a key important ingredient to any system when you're talking about network marketing. We were fortunate enough, and we're talking about not a long time ago, but just recently, at the beginning of this year of 2010, we were fortunate enough to be a part of an organization that had a phenomenal system. And the real exciting part was that the system that they had is pretty much the exact same system that Mr. Ivey and myself came from in our first company that we were part of some years ago. So they took that same system, and literally in a 3-month period of time, they were able to put 30,000 people in business. See, but you got to understand something. That system and everyone plugging into the system, everyone working the system is what caused all of those individuals, and even myself and Mr. Ivey, Mr. Halliman, and the other few people, we were able to benefit from the system. So realize that, what we're going to go over this morning, I hope that you have notes, because you want to work the system systematically. And I can guarantee you, if you work the system systematically, you're going to make a lot of money. Not just a lot of money. Mr. Halliman said on the call last night where we can literally build a fortune from our homes. And we're going to build that fortune, literally by using a system that is so simple. See, because one thing that we found out is that we already know that our program is simple. And we know that if a program is simple, well, then it would definitely be duplicable as well. But one thing about a system, it causes for the speed of progression to go a little bit faster as long as everyone is plugging into the system. So, what is the first thing that we're needing to do? What is the first thing that we do as far as when we first get started? Well, one of the things that is a must, if you're someone that just joined us, maybe you may have joined our opportunity yesterday. Well, one of the things that is a must is you must make sure that you plug into either our Tuesday night or Thursday night new members call. Because Mr. Brandon Ivey, for those of you that don't know who this gentleman is, this guy is the guy that's basically kind of leading the company as far as the success that the company's having. He's one of the key members that is really making some things happen, and it's causing a lot of people to have some success. And he does these new members class. And when I'm listening, I've been in the industry for a while, but I get on as well, and I'm learning a lot. So in the new members class, he's going to basically go over at least the system, how to get yourself acclimated in the system. So the first thing, as far as the system process, as far as CEOs and being successful, the first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you get yourself plugged into a new members training. If you've been in for over a month, if you've been in for a couple of weeks, or if you just got in yesterday, you definitely want to make sure that you plug into a new members training. And Mr. Ivey, you do record those trainings, correct?
No, I don't record the new members training, but I will be making a video of it.
Right. Well, that's fantastic. Well, I was going to say, even if you recorded them and you listened to them, you still want to be on a live training, because that way if you had any questions or whatever afterwards, you would be able to ask. We want to make sure that you are fully equipped, at least with the system as far as how to get enrolled, how to enroll other individuals, basically what you're needing to do to be acclimated. So that's one of the first things that you want to do. Also, on that new members call, he talks about, setting up a grand opening. Or what we used to call in the day PBR, or what my business partner and I call kind of like our board of directors call. You want to set that up as soon as possible, because you want to launch your business. And that goes into one of the first parts of the system is you want to make a list of everyone that you know. And it's not, and this is what you have to understand. You don't need a whole lot of people in order to make a whole lot of money in this particular opportunity. Because if you structure this business correctly, you could literally make $1 million with just 1,100,000 to 1,100 people in your business. And I want you guys to understand that. So when you're working your business and you're building your list, just think of it that way. You don't have to have a whole lot of people. And it's not for you to try to close everyone that you talk to. And I know that's where a lot of people kind of fail when it comes to the industry of network marketing. They start talking to people. The first 3 to 4 people that they talk to may not be interested, or, may not get on a call or whatever it have you. And you're thinking in your mind, well, this won't work because I've already talked to 3 or 4 people, and I can't, either they don't quite understand, or they're not interested in network marketing, or I can't get them on the call, whatever it may be. Then you feel that the opportunity doesn't work, and that's not it. We come into it with the wrong mindset. So what you're wanting to do, and with working this system after we finish going over it, then it'll become a little more clear to you. But what you want to do is you want to make a list of everyone that you know. The first 25 are people that are individuals that will probably get into this opportunity just because you asked them. These are individuals that you look up to, individuals that are already business owners. And I can tell you from a business owner point of view, those are the first individuals that you want to talk to. Because even though it may be a person that you think is having a lot of success, you just don't know what business owners are going through these days due to the banks not lending, or due to the economy. Depending on the type of business, maybe they're not getting the business that they used to get, and something like this would be perfect. So your first 25 are individuals that would either actually get into the opportunity just because you asked them to, or individuals that would do something just because you trust them, and individuals that you look up to. Those should be your first 25. And then everybody else should just be people that you know. Now, let me explain something to you. The one thing that caused like the Mr. Ivey to have a whole lot of success is because he has mastered the law of attraction. And that's basically what you want to do. Is you don't want to sit here and think about who will not do the business. Matter of fact, you don't even have to think about who will do the business. Your whole goal is just to go through the list knowing that you will attract those individuals that's going to be best fitted for your business. Because once again, you don't need everybody. If you have a list of 200 people, don't get discouraged if you went through 160 of them and none of them got involved in your opportunity. Because it could be the last 20 that you talk to, and those last 20 could literally make you millions of dollars per month or $100,000 per month in income. You're just going through the numbers. You're giving them the opportunity to at least take a look at what you have. We all know that we have a great opportunity and a lot of money can be made. Your whole purpose in going through your list is not to think, well, this person will or this person won't. So you don't have to wait till the perfect time to talk to this person because this may be the time that I can get the person. No, that's not how it works. That's not how law of attraction works. The way law of attraction works is that through going through your list that you're going to get the people that's going to be best fitted for your opportunity. So after you do that, then you are talking to those people to get them set up for your grand opening or your board of directors call. So that is basically step number 2, because the new members class, knowing how the system works, knowing what you're doing, that's very important. Then step number 2 is actually, after generating that list and then setting up your grand opening party and going through your list, you should exhaust your list. And I know no one does this, and I don't know how many people actually teach this, but in all honesty, you need to exhaust your list. If not the first day, by the second day. Everyone that you know within the first day or the second day should know about your opportunity. But I understand the reason why, because I find myself guilty of it sometimes, is that we want to wait for the right moment to talk to the individuals that we feel would be best suited. So we want to wait to the right moment. And before you know it, a week will go by, 3 weeks will go by, and we still haven't talked to them because we're waiting for the right moment. There is no right moment. It's all about what you put out there. You're going to attract the best people fitted for your particular opportunity. Now, you have those individuals set up for your grand opening, and then what you do is you set up a time with, either your upline leader one of the individuals that are having success in the business that have basically allocated their time in order to help you with a grand opening. You get those individuals on the line, for those that you can get on. Now, for anybody else that was not able to get on your grand opening, step number 3, what you want to do at that particular point, you're wanting to invite those individuals to one of our calls. You know, I was talking to Mr. Halliman, and I'm going to get with Mr. Ivey after we do this training. You know, we were doing these 3-day calls, you know, during the holidays as a blitz. You know, I'm really thinking we're having a lot of success with these calls. You know, and I'm thinking that this is something we probably need to implement, you know, period, as part of our system as far as what we're doing, because that way we have more opportunity to expose. So after you've done your grand opening and you close some individuals in your grand opening, then you're going to take them through this system as well. But basically, for the ones that did not make it, all you want to do is you want to invite them to one of our opportunity calls. Now, this is very, very important, very important. When you're inviting someone to an opportunity call, all you're doing is asking them if they're open to make some additional income. You don't want to give any other information outside of that. If they ask you, well, what is it? It's an informational call. You're going to get the information. Well, is it network marketing? It's an informational call. You get all of that information. You know, if someone just badgers you and asks you, well, is it network marketing? Say, yeah, it is, but it's a little bit different because there's no selling. You want to give them some type of intriguing, you want to intrigue them to go to the next step to get on the call. So it's very, very important. Your person shouldn't know anything about the opportunity. All you want to do is leverage our time, leverage the expertise of the individuals that are doing the call, and get them on the call. And we explain all of that to them. We do the breakdown of the product. We do the breakdown of the company. We do the breakdown of the compensation plan. We're just looking for individuals, and you're just looking for individuals that are looking to make some additional income. If you're talking to a business owner, and I want to kind of key in on this, see, because you may have exhausted your warm market list, but you can go to business owners that you're doing business with and just ask them, you know, would you be willing, are you looking to make some additional income to cover the cost of your overhead? Every business owner is, especially now. And if they say yes, say, hey, give them the number to a call and say, get on this call. There's some information that will be of benefit to you. And that's it. So that's the next step to the system, getting people on the call. Now, this is very important. This is another missing ingredient that a lot of people miss when going through the system after they get people on the call. And this is just in business, this is in sales, this is just period. And that is the follow-up. You want to, if you invited someone to the call, you want to make sure that you follow up directly after the call and ask the person. You're not asking them did they get on the call. You're asking the person what did they like about the call. You're not asking them their opinion on what they thought about the call. Your only question is, hey, how's it going? You know, I know we just got off the call. What is it about the call that you liked? Well, right then you're going to find out whether they got on the call or not. And then if they were on the call, they're going to tell you what they liked about the call. That's what you asked them. So it's kind of leading them into the close, into the program. And let's say for whatever reason, if they say, well, you know, I like this, but I had questions. Well, then after that point of time, you know, we generally allow ourselves some time to be able to do 3-way calls after the call. And once again, that's where the whole edification process goes in, because you're edifying the system. You're always edifying the call. You've already edified the person that you're going to have them talk to after the call. So basically, the way that our system should flow, and it's very, very important in order for us all to make some serious money in this particular income program, is that we have to make sure that we are taking advantage of everything that we have to offer. These calls are huge. Like I said, we were part of a group that in 3 months put in over 30,000 people strictly based on the calls. I mean, you would get on the call, and we haven't done that yet. We actually have some pretty decent numbers on our calls. But I hadn't turned on where it says how many people are on the call for a reason. Once we reach over 100 people that are coming on the calls, then we're going to start to see some increase. And that's what we're doing. So basically, the way that our system should flow, and it's very, very important in order for us all to make some serious money in this particular income program, is that we have to make sure that we are taking advantage of everything that we have to offer. These calls are huge. Like I said, we were part of a group that in 3 months put in over 30,000 people strictly based on the calls. I mean, you would get on the call, and we haven't done that yet. We actually have some pretty decent numbers on our calls. But I hadn't turned on where it says how many people are on the call for a reason. Once we reach over 100 people that are coming on the calls, on a consistent basis, then we'll turn that on. You don't understand why it's so important that you're plugging into the calls, but you're inviting as many people as possible to get on these calls. Because what happens, just due to the synergy of all these individuals being on the call and plugging into the system, your business is going to grow by default. When a person gets on the call and they hear that, there are 130 people on the call, well, guess what? They're going to know that something is happening. And then they're going to invite people on the call just for the fact to say, you won't believe what's going on in this particular opportunity. We don't want to miss out. So that's how we have to display the system, make sure we're working the system, because the system is going to work for all of us. As long as we're plugging in, we're plugging people into the calls. We're plugging people into grand openings as soon as they get involved. We're plugging people into the training so that they know the process of what we're doing. That's going to allow for our businesses to explode. See, because when we're doing numbers, when we're putting in 300 to 400 people a day, that benefits your business, because a good portion of those individuals are going to fall into your organization. And so it's a very, very simple process as far as the system, but it's very important that you work the system and work it and not deter from it. Because if one ingredient of the system is missing, well, then that will cause you not to have the success that you should have by taking advantage of the system. So just kind of in recap, the first thing that you want to do, and if you're already in, if you haven't been on a new members call, there is one on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. You want to make sure that you're plugging into the system. You want to go ahead and make your list. The top 25 individuals are individuals that you know that would get into the business because you asked them to, or individuals that, trust you and trust your judgment and would just get in, and individuals that you look up to. Maybe it's a business owner, it's a professional, because something like this, we've already seen it, a lot of professionals. The people that are making the money in this business, tremendous amount of money, are people that are already successful. Those are the individuals that you are wanting to go out and talk to as far as the top 25. You want to exhaust your list within the first 24 to 48 hours. That's it. You should have talked to everybody. And if we haven't done that this far, within today and tomorrow, you should have exhausted your entire list. Please, trust me, trust me, trust me. Don't try to wait for the perfect time to do it. There is no perfect time. And if you are logged on to our CEO's Unlimited Ning site, there's a video. If you need to get pumped up to do it, there's a video on there by Mr. A.L. Williams, and the video is called Just Do It. You want to take a look at that video, because that's basically what it's saying. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Don't worry about if the timing is right. Just do it. Due to laws of attraction, due to your mindset being right and you're focused on winning, you're going to attract the people into your business that's going to be best beneficial for your business. See, a lot of times we just try to get people in just for numbers. That's not impressive when the numbers are not making you any money. We're in this thing to make money. It's not about having numbers. Mr. Ivey will tell you that, we built a pretty large organization in a short period of time, but that didn't necessarily equal out to the money being generated. We weren't making a whole lot of money in that program, but we had a lot of people. So it's not just about numbers. You want to have the best people that will benefit your business, and it will be beneficial to them. So after you do your grand opening, for the ones that did not come on after that point in time, you want to invite them to a call. Plug them into one of our calls. After the call, you definitely want to make sure that you follow up immediately. This was another key ingredients to when I built an organization of over 6,000 people in the other company. This was definitely a key ingredient when earlier this year, we were able to collectively build a group of over 30,000 people in a 3-month period of time. It was the follow-up, because we already in our mind knew that those individuals would have gotten something from the program that we were talking about. So you have to have that in your mind, that you know without a shadow of a doubt. You guys know the numbers. You know that it is incredible the money that we're going to make in this particular income program. So if you see it, trust me, other people will see it, but it will be the ones that are best beneficial for your particular business. You don't need a whole lot of people. but you want to push everybody through the system as quick as possible. And that is the system. That's the key. It is two key ingredients in the system. Number one, you have to think and believe without a shadow of a doubt that the system will work for you, and you will attract the people that are best beneficial for your business. And then number two, you have to work through that system as soon as possible. Not a week from now, not 3 days from now, but now. You want to do it right away. Just do it just now. And I guarantee you, if we're all plugging into the system, if we're all working that system, then we will all collectively make a whole lot of money just by default. You want to run your business like a business. And just as, for those of you that may be business owners, you will understand what I'm saying. If you're a business owner, there's a systematic process to your business. And you stay with that systematic process because you know that is the process that makes your business profitable and successful. Well, it works the same way over here. You have to work the system to make sure that the system will guarantee your success. One last thing that you want to do, after you're putting individuals through your system, you want to document it. And if you need it, I don't know if Mr. Ivey has a copy of one, but I know I have a copy of one, and I'll send it over to him. And then he can send it out. You can email him and let him know what you want. But there's actually a document that we have that you're writing down everyone that you talk to. And then there's actually a process, just, where you can check off, okay, I put them through a three-way call. They did a grand opening. They came to a grand opening call, whether you got them in or you didn't get them in. And it basically tracks your process as far as the system is concerned, as far as what process they're in the system at that particular time. So you can actually document where they are. So you can properly follow up. And then as your upline is asking you, okay, well, how are you looking through the week? How many people have you talked to? And that's one thing I'm going to talk to Mr. Ivey about as well. As far as the accountability call, we definitely want to make sure that there's some accountability that's going on. If we get that sheet working, every week, basically sending over how many people you plan on putting into your business that particular week, how many people that you talked to the week before, because our goal is to keep each other accountable to make sure that we're helping each other meet our goals. And that's it. It's a very, very simple system. It's not a hard system to work. I mean, it's something we should be doing anyway. But just knowing the system and making sure that we are working the system on a daily basis, and most importantly, making sure that our team is working the system on a daily basis. See, it's not just for you. It's more so for your team, because if your team is doing it, then that means that your business is going to grow by default. You want to plug everyone into the system. Everyone's doing the exact same thing, and that's going to produce and increase all of our business. No one should be out there alone working the business, outside of the system, because I can guarantee you will fail. The key to the system is what works. And I just went over the steps and make sure everyone is working the steps. Step number 3, for those of us that have been in the business, which is basically exhausting that list in the next 24 to 48 hours, that needs to be done this weekend. And then we go through the next step as far as getting everyone that showed interest on the call until they have all gone through that portion of the system. And then once our people get in, making sure that they understand the system. So I hope you wrote this down. And, it'll also it's recorded, but you also want to make sure that you can actually, make sure that your people are going through the system as well. Other than that, much success to each and every one of you. Mr. Ivey, I thank you for, allowing for me to share the opportunity of how our system works. And, sir, I turn it back over to you. I'm definitely looking forward to what you have to discuss this morning.